Call the Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting to order today. If we could please stand and recite the pledge. Flags in the corner.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Well, thank you all for being here today. Through the advent of technology, we have Mark Renix remotely. You've never looked so good, Mark. And Jonay is on his way, and he's on via cell phone at this point in time. And that gives us 5. Buffy let us know this morning that she could not make it, and Alan was planning on being here today also, but he called and was sick. So our thoughts are with him. Hopefully he feels better soon. So let's introduce ourselves. Why don't you start?
Bill Kaiser, south of the Broad.
I'm Bruce Yeager, south of the Broad.
I'm Dr. Carlos Cave, Beaufort County School District, Athletic Director.
Jonay, you want to introduce yourself? Jonay Broad. Okay, good. Renix, do you want to?
Renix, north of the Broad.
Okay.
Parks and Rec. Eric Brown, north and south of the Broad, Parks and Rec.
Also known as the director. Okay, good.
Jeremy Wayne, marketing board.
Daryl's always on it, man.
Rosick, athletic supervisor, south of the Broad.
Whitehead, civilian.
Civilian. Pickleball extraordinaire. Right? Okay. All right. So thank you all for being here. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
All in favor? All right.
Aye.
All right. Good. All right. Have y'all had a chance to review the May minutes? Okay. Any changes? Okay. The only thing I would say is Phil Kaiser's name is spelled wrong on page 3. And I guess it was somewhat confusing in there if this would be different than the pickleball tournament. I guess maybe it's in the tennis thing, so I'm not certain. Did you ask Phil about that? Is that correct? While we were talking about tennis? Or is that something that was down in the lower pickleball discussion? I would just review that. I mean, we could have, it's on the 3rd page. It says, it was with the Shepherd Tennis. They came and requested. And it said, Phil asked if this event would be different than the pickleball tournament that was held. Okay, that was asked in the tennis thing? Okay. Okay. All right. All right, any other changes to the minutes? Okay, can I get a motion to accept those?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Are you a yay on that, Jonay? Yay. He's a yay. Okay. Renix?
I said yay.
All right, good. All right, so let's, do we have anyone here for public comment? No. Okay. You're just here to observe? No public comment from you today?
Yeah, I'll comment. I was hoping that the Beaufort would be here.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. All right, we won't put that on the comment, but very good. All right, so we were informed that the folks from the Beaufort Water Festival, the woman who was going to be reporting, was that Sally or Bonnie? Sally Johnson. Oh, okay. Yeah, so she went to Beaufort for the meeting, and we're not there, but where's my man? He is going to, he was part of that whole event, so in her stead, he's going to give us the information.
Sure. So as was mentioned, Saley was not able to be here today, so she did send me an update of the Water Festival pickleball tournament. She said pickleball was very successful this year, and they really appreciate the use of Burton Wells. They had 44 teams across 4 categories: a men's division, a women's division, and 2 sections of mixed. They started around 8 in the morning and ended their day around 2:30 p.m. They were able to leave 1 court open for anyone that came up to for free play. They did have a couple people play on that court during the tournament and then stay to watch their tournament after, so they were glad that they had some participation from the public there. And again, they appreciate all of us allowing them to use our facility at Burton Wells for their tournament.
Great, thank you. Is he on his way? We don't know. Okay, so we'll go past Brian, who's on the schedule here, and if Brian shows up, we'll go back to item 8. Is everybody good with that? Yeah. Okay. All right, department reports.
Hello, everyone. We have check-ins for all 3 major rec centers. Like Buckwalter is going to be a $4,000 per month center. We're closed one day for May. I'm sorry, yes, one day in May and one day in June, because we just had one.
Why would June be down at Burton Wells?
Probably because the basketball gym was closed most of the day for summer.
We only have the one.
Oh, okay. So
Summer
it's
camp is happening at that site and it's one gym, so.
okay. So you just don't have as much free play, and so you're limited to the people that are in the camp.
Right, so these are the people that would be coming in, play racquetball, use the weight. People who are in by everyone who comes for basketball, all.
Okay. So how do we, I mean, you're saying when they just don't hit a clicker when they walk through, or?
Correct, but I think that's something.
Some traffic counters with the laser, so we're planning on putting them at the triple or quadruple.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know how many kids walk in, walk out, walk back in. You know, I mean, yeah, it's an inexact science, right? Okay. All right. Yeah, so just in general, I'm surprised that Burton Wells is going down, though. I mean, you know.
Actually, May is higher than the 2 previous months, I believe. So you think, like Brock said, the bringing in the summer camps and everything over there probably affected that number a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm just kind of wondering what I'm looking at. On the right, it says Charles Lynn Brown, May 2025, June 2025, and right below it says.
That's me, because at the last minute I added the bottom section, so I can confuse Heather. The bottom right is 2024.
Oh, okay. Even though that one says 2025, I see. Okay. All right, but in general, for the most part, the facilities are being utilized. To summarize, year to year, at the same level, if not greater, and significantly greater in Buckwalter. Would that be correct?
I would agree with that, yes.
Okay.
This is just information on some highlights of what has gone on at the rec centers that don't fall into programming or athletics, just so we can see some of the other things that do happen at the centers. I thought it was kind of neat that Harbor Freight was doing one of their hiring events here at Buckwalter. So,
And do they rent that facility for that?
correct.
So we get some income from that?
Yes. We also had HOA meetings and birthday parties and things like that in the classrooms at Burton Wells and Buckwalter, and one or two at Lynn Brown.
Good.
Any questions? Maybe Shane added something confusing to this slide as well. Thank you.
All right, so we'll start with Beaufort Athletics, and then Bluffton will be next. So for Beaufort right now, as far as youth sports goes, our main focus over the summer is our basketball program. So our numbers were down just a little bit for summer basketball this year. We have to go to a lot of our leagues playing 3-on-3, depending on numbers in different age groups during the summer, and then that number more than doubles during the winter season. So the summer basketball is more of our developmental season, and then the winter more competitive. As far as adult sports that we have right now in the summer, our co-ed softball is a couple weeks into their season. We have the same number of teams as we did last year for that. Our adult co-ed baseball was up nearly 30 participants. We added a team, so we're at 7 teams for adult baseball as well. And then our kickball program, those numbers have gone up some since this slide was made. Our registration for kickball for adults ends tomorrow, and we'll probably be looking at having 4 to 5 teams, which is right on par with where we've been for the past couple seasons there as well. Great. Any questions? Okay. Upcoming fall sports, as you know, we have a pretty heavy load of youth programming in the fall. So for youth programming, we do baseball, softball, soccer, flag football, and cheer all in the fall. And we also have another fall baseball program for adults as well. So our number for last year for fall adult baseball was 68. I plan on that number being a little higher this season. We'll begin registration for that on September 1st. And as you can see with our numbers for fall youth sports right now, they're all down, but we still have another week plus of regular registration and then a week of late registration after that. So after speaking with Jeremy, our numbers are on par or better than what they've been over the past couple years where we are in registration right now.
What percentages of registration come in the last week in the late registration?
We were just looking at that the other day. Jeremy's figured up it's about 30% that come in the last week. We even looked at, we nailed it down as far as the last day when we looked at it earlier, and it's nearly a quarter of everything for some sports comes in on that final day of registration.
And in late registration, they pay what, a $10 penalty or something?
It's an additional $20. So the registration fee goes from $70 to $90 for most sports for the late fee.
All right.
All right. I'll pass it off to Evan.
For Bluffton, the adult sports we got going on right now is just our adult softball program. We've been able to finish our bronze and co-ed. We were going to finish our our gold last night, but that got rained out. So we're still trying to finish that one, and then you can hear we're probably going to get rained out again tonight. So the silver will probably be pushed back again to next week. So hopefully we can finish up our adult softball next Thursday. With basketball, we've been playing, we're in our 3rd week now. You can see our numbers are down a little bit, but so far the program's running pretty smooth. We've had no issues, had some good games, and everything's going well.
What's the age group there?
7 to 16. And we had enough girls this year that we were able to have our own 13-16 program away that's separate from the boys instead of playing co-ed. Been good.
Are those games at night?
Yeah, we do, we'll do Monday through Friday, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30. And pretty much all the courts are being used for all 3 time slots, Monday through Friday. We have a couple nights where we have one court that only has 2 games on it, but the other 3 will have all 3 games on it. Same as Beaufort for our upcoming youth leagues, soccer, baseball, softball, flag, and cheer. Again, our numbers are down currently, but we still have 2 weeks left of registration, so those numbers will jump up considerably. For our adult sports coming up, we have beach volleyball, outdoor volleyball. That registration runs till the 20th. As you can see, we're already up. Our kickball, again, runs till the 20th, and we're basically even right there. So both those numbers should continue to grow. Tournaments that we had. We had the rookie and AA baseball in Bluffton. The rookie, there was no tournament, so they went straight to the state tournament. Bluffton American won the AA tournament. Both those teams got knocked out in the state tournament. The rookie team, they won a game and lost 2, and the AA team went 2-2. The Ozone tournament was in Beaufort as well. Hilton Head won that, as well as the minors tournament, which we didn't host minors, but Hilton Head won that as well. For the softball, Bluffton hosted the 8U and 10U. The 8U ended up winning that tournament, won the state tournament, and plays in the World Series down in Louisiana next week. Bluffton won the 10U tournament. They ended up getting knocked out in the state tournament. 6U and 12U was hosted in Beaufort. The 6U actually didn't play. They went straight to the state tournament from Bluffton, and they were state runner-up. The 12U Beaufort, Beaufort won the 12U division, and they ended up getting knocked out in the state tournament as well. It's not on there right now, but our 15U Beaufort County team, they also went straight to the state tournament and were the state runner-up. So a pretty good showing for baseball and softball. Our Dixie boys are actually up in Seneca right now. Our 13U is playing Louisville right now, and kind of a best-of-3 winner to go to the World Series. 14U plays later this afternoon, and they've got a bigger tournament. There's 12 teams in their tournament, but those are both going on right now. The MLB Pitch Hit and Run, we're hosting that July 19th at Oscar Frazier. Kind of a cool little event. We've got somewhere, it was around 72 participants signed up. They have till the 18th to register. So looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun, something new that we're trying. So it should be pretty good.
Is that the first time that event's been held here?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then last is the Top Gun softball travel tournaments we've been hosting. We just hosted another one on the 28th, and we have 3 more coming up. The one in August is going to be in both Bluffton and Beaufort, and then in September and November, those are both going to be just in Bluffton.
And those are all travel tournaments?
Travel teams. Yeah, they typically they bring 3 age groups, and they'll play 1 on each field. It's pretty cool event. There's not a piece of grass out there that's not covered with a tent. There's people everywhere, and they'll start at 8:30 in the morning. I think me and Scott were out there the first tournament, and we didn't cut the lights till almost 11 o'clock. So they play all day.
And what do they just pay our standard fee for the fields?
Yeah, so they rent the fields, and then they pay for umpires, they pay for balls, pay for the trophies. It's really all they do is rent the fields, and they take care of everything else.
Good. Well, that's working out well then.
Yeah, very good. Yeah,
Good.
I've had no issues with them. So.
Great.
Any questions?
What benefit does the, as far as the tournaments go, I'm a proponent of tournaments. I think it definitely does a great job, and cities benefit hugely from these tournaments. What benefit has Beaufort seen from these tournaments so far?
I mean, obviously, there's people from out of town coming in. You know, our families, our teams, they get to stay local. They don't have to travel to Charleston or Colleton. And, you know, it's just good exposure for the area. And, you know, like I said,
We really haven't tracked any economic data or anything, but what you're saying is, I mean, the fact that there are girls softball teams playing locally in
Yeah.
tournaments, to
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
and, you know, like the travel tournaments, you know, they're only 1-day tournaments. So, you know, there's really no impact with hotels or anything like that, but they're there for 13, 14 hours. So, you know, they're going out to eat, they're visiting places and whatnot. So it's good.
Something that we think is that they're gonna build on.
I hope so. I know there's talk, people want to bring baseball. So we've kind of tested the waters with the softball. It's going really well. So hopefully, you know, baseball will follow. I know some people have reached out to Eric about possibly basketball tournaments. So it's something we're kind of slowly working our way into.
And I guess the biggest issue with that is having field availability for our programs, and at this point, there's no conflict with that.
No. So we got with BYS, and basically they wanted a ton of dates. So we kind of narrowed it down to 5 dates that work within our fall ball or spring ball or whatever, that the field would be available on that weekend. And those are the 5 dates we gave them.
So you're integrating with BYS to make sure that that all works?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yep.
This may be a question that would go mostly with the director. For the future, would there be any future field availabilities that for other programs that want to come in and do more tournaments, baseball and softball? Is there a future?
Kevin just said, we work around our season.
Yes, sir.
So whatever the availability is gonna be, it's gonna have to be during. Unfortunate thing is we don't have tons of fields for the number of people that. We don't have a ton of time, all because as well. So whatever peak time we have that's available, we use that for that we just told you about to come in. The beauty about us over here at Beaufort is there will be 4 new multi-purpose fields, not baseball, but multi-purpose fields that and I'll when I come up.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll say all that again when I come up.
yeah.
All right.
I'll say it again when I come up.
Well, I would answer your question having been a travel ball coach, and Alan's not here today, so he can't comment on that. But we really have had no increase in fields in the last 15 years, since maybe 20 years since Oscar Frazier was built. So there haven't been any. Now there have been things done with Bluffton Center for the little kids fields. You know, we've made some improvements there, but in baseball, there's such competition for travel tournaments with unbelievable facilities. Like Walterboro's got a great facility, and
Yes.
Shipyard has a great facility, and so, you know, everybody talking about, it's great that we can have tournaments here locally for our local teams, as you're saying, but, you know, we've got a supply-demand issue with our fields, and to the extent you can do that within that relationship, that's great. But, I mean, there are a lot of people that look at it differently, but I don't see us being a huge tournament mecca, you know, with the resources that we have. And in number one, we want to satisfy our needs with our, you know, our residents first.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's a great idea. I am, like I said, I'm pro. Definitely have my support as far as expanding if need, you know, when that time comes. And so I definitely look forward to it. I think it's great for the community, great for this town.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I'll speak briefly to the senior program. Had a big boots on the ground, so we at least try to do one large event for the senior program each year. We're trying great boots on the ground events, where all of our senior centers came to in May. We had a bunch of good field trips, and you can see down here we've got several thousand in home delivery, and that is for renewal. So basically, you automatically get another. But they're realigning their contract. Well, several senior centers are seeing improvements currently or that kind of complete re-gutting inside. And then Scott Center is on, apparently we're not very good at this, guys. Scott Center is on track to start in August to get their renovations. We've got 2 new senior community centers planned to start in the next quarter or so. And there's probably one more that I'm missing, but we have, like I said, the whole senior program itself is kind of getting a nice facelift coming up.
And how many total participants do we have?
So all of our centers are basically full. So
we're at 100% capacity.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We in fact we have to turn people away because we don't have the ability to transport them to our facilities because we're already full. So that all goes through a vetting process through LCOG, LOCOG, Area Agency on Aging, where they have to kind of get vetted and approved. And then assuming at that point we have space, we would pull them in, but we're at capacity. There are places we are trying to build, kind of the people coming more frequently, like Charleston Brown, but in general, all of our facilities are.
Are there any situations where people drive themselves to the facilities?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it's
Yep.
okay. So the transportation, and we had new vehicles, right, didn't we?
Yes, and they're being used more than even we anticipated for field trips and the like. And the senior program is very pleased to have gotten that upgrade across the board. We could always use more, but a little bit at a time.
Great, awesome.
I'm not going to do Andy's part. I couldn't.
Hello, you guys.
Oh,
Okay, so Battery Creek, hours are still the same as normal. Our school swim lessons ended at the end of May. We have regular swim lessons going on throughout the year and everything like that. Our check-ins for May for the Battery Creek pool, we had 355 for the Finns swim team, and then 795 for the public itself. And then for June, the Finn swim team went back to Bluffton Pool. So for June, this is strictly just the public at Battery Creek Pool for 633.
okay.
Any
come-
questions about Battery Creek Pool?
Is that pool, is it slated to go offline at any time, or we're good to go now?
You talking about like for construction and everything?
Yeah, for renovation.
That's not the next pool. The next pool that's supposed to be doing construction is Beaufort Pool. We just
Okay.
don't have a date yet.
All right.
Let's do this preliminary, then we'll talk about it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We can't talk about, what's next and all that just yet.
Okay,
Nothing is installed.
all right, very good.
Yeah, no, this is live.
Okay.
Somebody will call you and say, hey, I thought I was going down.
Right.
Nothing's in effect yet.
All right.
I heard that about the pool. Yeah, understood.
So our Beaufort Pool, hours as well, they are still the same as normal. The school swim lessons, they finish at the end of May. The programs that we have at that pool are water aerobics, which is every Wednesday now. She's taking a break. She used to do Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but she's only doing Wednesday for the summertime. And then for the check-ins, for May, it's 713. And then for June is 792. And that's just regular, just people checking into the facilities. Any questions for the Beaufort Pool? Okay. And then for our Bluffton Pool, we finally reopened. The date was June 2nd that we reopened. The hours are the same as the other indoor pools as well. The program that we have there currently is the Finn swim team. They are every single day. We are looking at other programs to come back to the Bluffton pool, but because it was closed for a year, some programs went elsewhere. So, for May, obviously they were closed, but for June, it was 406 for the Finn swim team, and then 638 for the public itself.
So the public use of that pool and Battery Creek's pretty comparable, or all that?
Half of the public went to Battery Creek, and then half went to, like, for example, the Island Rec, things like that.
Oh, okay.
It just depends on where they live in Bluffton to if they wanted to drive all the way to Battery Creek.
How has the response been for the pool?
Everyone's happy with Bluffton Pool. I mean, there's still little things that still need to be fixed, but in general, everyone's happy with it.
Have the high schools reached out for fall swim?
The high schools have started scheduling everything for all the pools. Beaufort High is already at the Beaufort High pool. May River and Bluffton, they're at the Bluffton pool right now. Battery Creek still does not have a team from what we're aware of. So,
I would think we give priority for the schools over the Finns, don't we?
correct.
Okay.
Correct. So, and when we do the swim teams for Bluffton Pool, it's pretty organized to where the one, then the next, and the next. So everyone has an opportunity to be at that pool.
So everyone, the public is pretty satisfied with their access to the pools. What I'm trying to say is the swim teams individuals are still getting proper access.
So the swim teams don't come until after 4 o'clock, and we always have a lane open. Now they have to share the public does have to share with one another, so they do have to, combine into one lane when the swim teams is there. But during the day, we are open from 8 to 1, 2 to at least 4, to where there's no swim team there. But like I said, from 4 to close, we still have a lane open to the public.
Okay.
So. Any other questions for Bluffton Pool? Okay.
Has the phone calls stopped?
I'm never gonna stop, but it's down.
Yeah, I'm saying, Shane, I thought you'd have phone calls in May, June, July. Okay.
And then our last pool is the Alvin Settles outdoor pool. This is the busiest pool that we have. We would love this pool to be open all year round, but it's the outdoor pool. The hours here are posted. They are open Tuesdays through Sundays. We have camps, we have birthday parties, everything happens at that outdoor pool. We also offer the camps and birthday parties at the indoor pools, but most people want to be outdoors. Check-in for May was 1,034. May, we opened up early because Beaufort Pool was closed for a little bit because their pump broke down. But I mean, the moment people found out we were open, people were there at that pool. And then for June, as you can see, 3,703. A lot of that had to do with camps coming in. We have about 5 or so different consistent camps that come to that facility.
Okay. Any questions?
Any questions about any of the pools? No?
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
I'll see you guys next time.
All right.
I didn't think I'd have to move the microphone down from Annie talking. But, so we are rocking and rolling. We just finished up with our Unity in the Community a couple weeks ago, and that turned out to be a little bit more of an expose about some of the newer programs that we're holding over at Charles and Brown. We had about 200 people roll through, kind of see, we had line dancing kind of events. We had fitness classes. We had a lacrosse camp. We had all kinds of things that the public could come in and kind of see newer things that we're doing both at that facility and on the north side of the river, so people can get an experience of what's going on in our facilities. We also have a Repack the Backpack that's coming up in August. So a lot of the kids in the area that need a little bit more help finding school supplies, hopefully we'll get some of that there so the kids can come in, take the supplies, and help them be prepared for the next school year. Let's see here. We also have our police movie days. The last one that we had about 100 kids at it. So that's hosted at the Charles M. Brown at a Wednesday at 3 o'clock. And I believe our last one is the 23rd for the summer. Is that correct, Vita? Our last police movie day is the 23rd? Okay. Yep, it'll be Wednesday the 23rd, and that way all of our camp kids on the north side of the river will be there as well. So we've had a lot of really good turnout for that.
So is there a number of police officers that come to that, or?
Yes, sir. There's about 10 police officers that are out there. They're handing out popcorn. They usually have little things for the kids, and then they play a movie up on the screen inside the wall of Charles M. Brown. They don't do any kind of touching the car, sitting in the car kind of thing, but it's just kind of a goodwill activity for them.
Right.
Our summer camps have been packed. We're rocking and rolling. Bluffton Center has been full every session with a waiting list of 30 kids for just about every session as well. Beaufort has been 70% full, just about. And the Scott Center has been just about 80% full. So they're rocking and rolling. They have pool day today, which they are definitely not going to be at. So we appreciate Annie for all the work that she does to make sure that happens whenever the weather allows it. We've still got some programs that are in the works that are 70-30 programs. So these are contractors that are coming in for us. We've got a big push for lacrosse right now. We've got a lacrosse camp on both the north and the south side of the river, as well as a Bluffton Waves camp coming up, which is a travel baseball team here, I believe, as well as USCB is utilizing our gym for a basketball camp here. So we've got a lot of fun sporting activities coming up as well. Programs, we're trying to kind of gauge more towards arts. So we've got a dance class coming in here soon that we're kind of working things through with. We've got an art class going into Lynn Brown that we're also kind of tying up loose ends on. And same thing with Beaufort Wrestling, tying up some loose ends there as well. So that should be done here in the next day or two. And then we've still got a lot of current programs. One program that I want to highlight is the Altitude Academy that's happening at Charles M. Brown. This is a gentleman who is a pilot and an aircraft mechanic who has a really nice flight simulator, and he opens it up for kids of the public, and he's teaching them about the industry of aviation all the way through. So he's teaching them ground controls. He's teaching them just basics of the aircraft maintenance, as well as taking them through flight simulator hours, which is a really cool event that we've had going on over at Charles M. Brown, with the intent to expand that to one of our more outlying facilities, such as Gloria Potts. And then a lot of the other facilities that we have been going on. And we finished our first pickleball clinic over at the Charles M. Brown Center. What was that? Middle of May, right? Perfect. Yep. And that's what we got.
How many
there.
people came to that?
We had 11 signed up. So we actually opened it to, 12? So we were just one short of the maximum that we had it open for, just because of court restrictions. So it ended up working out really well.
Most popular sport in America right now. Fastest growing sport.
It's growing, that's for sure.
I'm sure you could tell us a little bit about that. I can. Yeah.
Perfect. And that's all I've got from recreation.
Any questions?
Perfect.
Great.
So Shane actually write this agenda out, but I want to just touch on a few things, and then we'll tag team this together. One thing I want to touch on is that Alex Hunt is no longer with us. He got a job in Louisiana, so he went back home. And I want to just say our new athletic manager on the north side is now Brandon. Come on, Brandon. We didn't even give you your props, not anything, man. And so we want to make sure we give you your props. And he's taking over for Alex, and I think he's going to do a fantastic job, just as Alex has done. So congratulations, and thank you for coming on board. You want the speech? Oh, okay. Did we go now, Brock? Congratulations. Now, Brock got up and did the recreation piece, Recreation is new in our division. You were okay. He were now. Okay, so this is his first time, I guess, presenting. Normally, Fair Nation would come up and talk. Who's actually assistant manager for recreation? So recreation is a new component with us, and we're excited about recreation and the things to come. Now, the aviation program is actually going to be stationed in St. Helena, but we don't have a site just yet. We know we're going under construction soon to build a site there, but in the meantime, he was so eager to get started. Lynn Brown had some slots for him to go in, and so he's working there and doing a fantastic job. I talked to him today, so Brock, you and Fair Nisha, I'll talk to you about that after this. What else?
Is he in the military or is he retired or?
No, he was a college basketball player that thought he was going to go pro, and he came home and got a job in aviation.
But he's not someone who's going to be shipped out, you know.
No,
he's a local and it's ongoing. Yeah,
local from St. Helena, and so he's excited about that. Shane touched on. I'm just going to do a few CIP. Projects, and then Shane will do the rest. We know that our Booker T. Washington site, new playground, the site was refurbished just recently, just passed an inspection today. We're looking to have that site back open soon, have our seniors back in there, and our recreation team programming other programs in that facility. The pool reopened. The next pool that will go down is up for discussion now. We'll have meetings on that to determine which pool will be next for renovation. We know that St. Helena, Wesley Felix, and out on the north side, Agnes, those sites should be starting in the next couple of months as far as construction, and it'll take a year for those two sites to come up and running, and we're excited about those sites coming up and running. And Lynn Brown will be also going down under construction. New gym floor. We want some parquet in there. I'm not a Boston Celtics fan. Look like my brother right here might be. He got that green shirt on today, but we're gonna get some parquet in that gym so that we can continue to run tournaments. Effectively, safe, and all that other good stuff, and so that will go under renovation soon as well. Scott, we talked about Scott. Scott we have an aftercare program, a summer camp program there now, but that site will be going down in August. Those seniors will get a refurbished, brand new facility as well. What am I missing? Southside Pickleball up and running. As you know, we had a ribbon cutting there a few months ago. And we have the site that's down now that's going to Shell Point RFP will go out for Shell Point very soon to get that place back up and running. And we have a few things that we're negotiating with now, but I can't publicly talk about them because it's not in stone. But once it's in stone, as far as pickleball is concerned, I'll bring that back to you guys. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Good.
Any questions? Okay. You got anything else? That's it?
Yep, and then want to talk about retreat?
Well, I'll start the retreat and I'll let Shane finish it up. Every year we have a departmental retreat with all of our lead staff. This year was another exciting, awesome retreat. Want to thank Alex, who's now no longer here, and Evan for taking the lead with the sports part of the retreat. The book was The Slight Edge. If you haven't read it, please go out and get that book, The Slight Edge. And we basically talked about chapter 4 and what we liked in Slight Edge. HR came and did a fantastic training with us as well. And we just had a great time for 4 hours. I mean, every year in May, we debrief and we go and we do a retreat so that we can continue to rise to the top.
I have one question, if you don't mind. On the, I'm going to go back on the St. Helena site. That's going to be a recreation center?
Yes.
Okay, great. Can you tell us what outdoor facilities are going to be there?
Well, it's going to be at Wesley Felix, so.
Okay, so it's going to be
so there's already outdoor activities there now. But it's going to be It's going to be a recreation facility, not a gymnasium, but a recreation facility.
Okay.
We're not running yet, and we're not crawling, but we're walking right now.
Sounds good.
And once we start programming that, then in a few years we can look at something differently. But my job is to educate communities on what should go in these communities and how can we put it in the community and sustain it in the community.
Right.
As we saw here at Buckwalter, we had about over 4,000 people coming through this building monthly. We don't have that many people in some of our areas, period.
Yes.
When it talks about, you know, when you talk about how many people that live in an area. And so we're going to make sure that we're putting the best program forward for what we have in those areas. And we're going to program them to the best of our ability. And we're going to make sure what's ever in that community, we're going to meet the needs of that community as far as programming is concerned. And I look forward to getting with Dr. Cave on some training that we're going to do, partner with with the school board or the school district. In Florida, it's the school board, the school district. And we look forward to that, getting with Dr. Cave on some trainings.
Thank you.
Not much. I talked about last time because we were kind of pre-budget, but our FY26 budget was approved, basically at the same levels as the previous one. We took a little bit of a cut, but we'll be able to be executing just fine.
That's the operating budget, right?
That's operating budget, yes. That's not, non-personnel, exactly, and our personnel budget was increased as well, so we're planning on bringing some additional recreation staff on to help build the community programs out in kind of the outlying locations. Excited to see how that goes this year. And then lastly, we talked about last time, we have started the fee evaluations. We're kind of doing our homework first. That is kind of assessing what our neighbors are doing and identifying which areas we want to kind of dig deeper on. So we've done a good portion of the legwork on the research, and then it's kind of next going to be recommendations from there, and we'll meet as needed for that.
Right, and then when you make the recommendation, then we'll review that and approve that.
Yep.
Okay. I see Mr. Allen has joined us. Are you there, Allen?
Oh, yeah. I'm just trying not to talk too loud for you guys.
I think Mark left, though. Is Mark still there? Yeah, Mark kicked out. All right, so we're...
So 5.
Mark took the first half. Oh, Mark's there, too. All right, great. All right, fantastic.
All right, any other... Eric covered the rest. So any other questions on this piece? We're good. Yep. All right. And the next meeting is early September.
The next meeting is September 4th. Phil has told me that that's the Friday after Labor Day, so that should work out pretty well. Does anybody on the board have anything they want to say about anything? Huh?
That's Thursday.
I'm sorry, Thursday. My bad.
Thursday.
Yes, Thursday. They're always Thursdays. Yes. Okay.
So it is Thursday.
Thursday
Okay,
after
all right.
Labor Day. Yes. Okay. All right. Very good. I would just like to say that in general, I think y'all are doing a good job. I want to thank you for your service and professionalism. When things aren't going well, I get lots of phone calls and people complaining. Social media, you know, is extremely volatile today. Are you seeing a lot of that? Are you seeing a lot of? Not a lot. Right, but I think in general, from my perspective, I think that the morale of personnel and everything else has really improved a lot since we had the most recent transition and you've come in. So I feel pretty good about that. I appreciate everybody's hard work. And I know it's tough to find good people, and when you have good people who leave, that hurts. But you have other people step in and step up. So I just want to thank you all for everything that you do on a daily basis for our community. So, does anybody have anything else?
I agree.
All right, so with that, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Got a second?
Second.
All in favor? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We're like the old Miami Hurricanes. Y'all remember us in the 80s and the